Welcome, everyone, to Color Commentary. We are your pauper commentators, Michael Petchik and Adrian Guarzales. How's it going, Adrian?
Oh, good.
And we're coming to you this week from the past. This was recorded before me, the person talking, left to go on vacation in California. So you're hearing a time-shifted episode that happened, a week and a day ago by the time this releases? But in order to make it so that we had relevant content to bring you, we threw together a mailbag. We took your questions on Twitter and on email, and that's what we're getting into. But first, we have our upkeep to do. I'd like to tell you about Original Magic Art. Original Magic Art is a website that has a store jam-packed with all sorts of magic paraphernalia. We've got tokens, dice bags. There's also playmats. It's just a really solid place. The art is either licensed magic art from the original artists, or it's classic art from throughout history. They've got a really sweet token collection that they have had 2 waves of it, I believe, that have come out on Kickstarter. There's currently a Patreon for the Original Magic Art project where you get a certain amount of tokens per month just mailed to you. But it is a really, really cool store. And if you want to support us and also get yourself 5% off, use our affiliate code Commontary, all caps, on your checkout. You'll get 5% off, and the show gets a little bit of a kickback. So you're helping continue to bring the show to your ears while also buying some sweet magic stuff. Adrian, do you have anything to talk about this week?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully I recorded some weekly play videos, and you can expect more of that in the future.
Yeah, the time-shifted thing is a little weird. Also, Patreon. You can donate to us on Patreon, help support the show. You can set how much you want to donate per episode. Patrons get to listen to the episode early and unedited, so you get to hear, all the curse words that we can't say and I have to manually bleep on the show. We talk about our lives. We talk about other magic formats and that sort of stuff. I don't know. Maybe consider supporting us. You can set a limit per month of how much you want to donate. It's really awesome. There's perks. You can help pick what the show is. There was one guy who donated enough, and we just let him decide an entire episode. So if you like making us into your dancing puppets, go right ahead.
Dance puppets.
Are we going to get into questions?
Well, let's do it. Do you want to go first?
Sure thing. First up, from @SpamWorst, and that's going to be the next 2 questions as well. What are some silver bordered commons you would play? Adrian?
I think I decided on destroy target creature with reminder text. Goodbye, okay. Gurmag Angler. It's a B for removal spell.
Okay, so with reminder text, what else does this get? It doesn't get Delver or the flipped version of Delver. It doesn't get anything out of Delver, I don't think. I think Ninjutsu has reminder text.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Does really make those the additions matter, because some of these, I'm sure there have to be cards where there's reminder text on one version and not on another, especially with the core sets. They loved putting reminder text on flying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be Carnivorous Death Parrot. It's a 2-mana 2/2 flyer with reminder text of having to say a word out loud, upkeep cost of having to say a sentence out loud. My bad. And the sentence in question is the flavor text, which is better save a removal spell for this guy.
Save a kill spell to deal with this guy.
I don't have it open in front of me. You've shattered the illusion of the lie that we're competent. But what's the next question here from Spamworst?
The next question is, what made Scred suddenly happen when it did? Augur Bolus got printed, downshifted.
Augur Bolus got downshifted, but also the fact that Stompy just went nuts. Obviously, Burning Tree Emissary was good. It was always going to get played. And as soon as Stompy rose up and had a way to kind of cheat around mana as well, Blue Delver just couldn't keep up. So, turning to red for removal turned out to work well. We kind of covered that one on the last episode. I wonder if this question got sent in before the last episode released. Or the one,
the one before the last. Yeah.
Yeah. Time shifting again. The time travel is terrible for us. And lastly, from Spam Worst, what effect is needed but missing in Pauper besides sweepers?
Hand disruption.
So,
It would be.
What's the one you want downshifted?
Mine personally would be Inquisition. I don't know if that's really a thing, if that's too powerful. I don't think it's happening. They just upshifted it to a rare.
And then downshifted it to uncommon again.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I just don't think we're going to see that as a common in a limited format. I just really, really don't think so. But I think that effect is strong. And currently, really, the best one we have is Duress, followed by Wrench Mind, which is not even really that good anymore. So
yeah, I was going to say, when was the last time you actually saw someone cast a Wrench Mind?
It's been a long time.
It's been years.
Duress is kind of the discard of choice. And it's good. Don't get me wrong. We play it a lot differently in Pauper than they do in Legacy. I think it's still a strong card. It's just it's a little narrow for like being a really good hand disruption spell.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And the fact that all the ones that hit creatures don't generally hit anything else is kind of a huge bummer. I'm gonna also say efficient white removal, specifically stuff at instant speed. I really like Swords to Plowshares. I just really like that card. I don't think it would be healthy, but we are certainly missing very efficient catch-all removal, which would probably make the format a miserable place.
Some people want Condemn downshifted. Condemn is similar to Swords.
It's Swords, but it gain life equal to toughness, and it goes to the bottom of the library, right?
Right.
I'm going to just say this. I think that's basically Swords.
Yeah, it kind of is. Well, it has to be attacking.
Oh, it has to be attacking?
Yeah.
It's still pretty much just Swords. It's still probably a little bit too good.
Yeah, it's a good card.
All right. I'm trying to think of anything else that we're missing, because we do kind of have a free counter spell, and that's kind of the throwaway answer. Oh, you know what? Not to return to previously tread discussion topics, I would adore getting to cast Cabal Therapy in Pauper.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
It would be pretty good, and it's a very skill-intensive card. I also know it would be wholly and completely unhealthy for the format.
Yeah,
but in general, like build around cards, the stuff you see as like signpost uncommons for draft. I'm thinking stuff like Astral Slide, which I've brought up before, or any of the other things where it's like, oh, this triggers off of a specific ability. We got clues, but we never got any of the clue payoffs at common. That sort of stuff. And really our best shot for things like that are the Master sets, and I'm not holding my breath.
No.
I think next question's you.
Yes. What cards would you like downshifted? I believe in the past I have said Signal Pest.
Yeah, that is an answer you would give. Oh, by the way, this is from @DJ Peter Morgan via Twitter.
Sorry, yeah, and Signal Pest would help with some of the aggro decks, but I think it's a pretty strong card. I mean, I know why it's an uncommon, but it's a fairly strong card that is, not really a threat by itself. You definitely need other cards to make it good. Outside of Affinity, like real modern Affinity, I don't even know if it's even really that playable. I
mean,
because
it's an 0-1, right?
It's an 0-1 for one generic, and it has Battle Cry, and it can't be blocked by creatures with flying or reach.
I don't think that'd be the end of the world for the format. I don't think it would probably be healthy, but I don't know. I wouldn't be super worried. He says, completely full well knowing that it's probably super unhealthy. For me, here you go. Let's say I will accept any version. I will accept any of the following: Biting Rain, Drown in Sorrow, Flaying Tendrils, Infest, Massacre, Rising Miasma, and any of those. Any
sweepers.
Yeah. Any reasonably priced black sweeper. I will also accept Volcanic Fallout or any of the red versions of those that hit at
Pyroclasm.
2. Pyroclasm. I think there's one that's like instant speed at like 4, but I don't know. I just want a good sweeper. That's all I want for the format. Next from Peter Morgan. Question number 2. What would be your criteria for banning a card?
Really, is it unfun and is it taking up too much of the meta?
I'm going to hit you with a thing here. I don't think unfun should be a qualifier.
Well, Mike, that's your answer.
I mean, is removal fun to play against?
Yes.
Okay, but you're also an adult, and there are plenty of people who would consider it unfun, or specifically counterspells is the one that I see a lot of players say, this is unfun. And while I feel both of us disagree with that pretty vehemently, I would say like when you start seeing decks, when you start seeing it take up a large meta share and people are building decks with cards that shouldn't be main deckable to answer a threat, like if all of a sudden Burn becomes like an amazing deck in the format because, I don't know, Goblin Guide gets downshifted or some equally ludicrous thing, and Burn is just top dog and people are like, all right, I'm going to run Cop Red main deck. That is generally, in my mind, the sign of an unhealthy format.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree with that.
You want to take this last one?
Yeah. What deck do you wish saw more play? What deck do I wish saw more play? The deck I like sees a lot of play.
All the decks you like generally see a lot of play.
That's why this is hard. I mean, I guess I'll go with Geez, this is hard. I really don't know. Why don't you go first?
It doesn't see a lot of play that I'd like to see more of. You know what? Dimir Alchemy. I really like it as a deck. It did well in the last challenge from Date of Recording, but I really like that deck. I had a really fun time playing it when Drake was still in the meta because it was fast enough to sometimes sneak games out from under them and still has a control element to it. So I'm going to go with Dimir Alchemy.
It's a good choice. I'm going to go with... I can't choose.
Why? Are there too many answers or not enough?
That's not enough. I guess I'll go with the black-green sacrifice deck because I've always thought that deck is sweet and it has done well at big events, but it just doesn't do well in the leagues.
Yeah,
but I have fun with that deck, so I wish it was better.
Oh, that's fair. I think next one's you.
Oh no, I just did that one.
Oh, okay. At Jack LaCroix, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. That's how I pronounce the fizzy water. So we're going with that. The man has a seltzer for a last name. Okay, Strip Commander, yes, no, and why?
No, because I don't like Commander, and I would not play a version of Commander where I also had to get naked.
I'm going to say no for a different reason. What 40 articles of clothing are you wearing? Like, you're either defeating the point of the strip part of it, or you're defeating any sense of comfort and movability. Like, have you seen the pictures of like those people that guy who has like the world record for the most t-shirts won? It looks super uncomfortable.
I have not seen that guy, no, but that's funny.
You should Google that after the show. It's pretty comedic. But yeah, Jack, I know who you are because of Twitter. I am not surprised by this being the question you asked, but no, it's utterly impractical and ridiculous.
Yeah, we're also just two huge prudes is really what it is. We're very uncomfortable with our own bodies. How dare you do this to us?
No one gets to see me naked, not even myself. I take off my glasses as soon as I get in the bathroom to take a shower. No one can
turns off all the lights, pitch black.
Yeah, no mirrors in the house, nothing. Just clothed at all points.
Blindfolds himself.
All right. So, you want to take this next one?
Now we're going to unique or username. Who are your favorite content producers? I assume they mean other than us. Mine is.
I'm not gonna say I'm my own favorite content producer, but okay.
Mine is Channel Fireball, specifically LSV, Caleb Durward, and Andrea Mengucci. And Reed Duke. I like Reed Duke's videos a lot. I watch all 4 of those producers quite a bit, and I generally restrict my content viewership to Channel Fireball, and more specifically to them. I've seen a lot of Magic. I watch Magic content pretty much every day for like at least a couple of hours, whether it be at work or right before I go to bed. So I have pretty definitive tastes at this point. And I think that they are 4 of the best content producers out there. And I certainly think that Channel Fireball is the highest quality production company available right now.
So I generally listen to a lot of podcasts in part to try and better our podcast and figure out what others are doing correctly. But I really enjoy limited resources. I'm a big limited fan. When it comes to video content, I actually watch a lot of Commander stuff, not because I'm still not super into the format, but I find that generally once people are making Commander content with them and their friends, there's already an established chemistry and it's going to be more enjoyable, even if I don't particularly care for the format. MTG Goldfish does a series with 4 people that is actually pretty entertaining, even if you don't care for Commander, because it's 4 people who, loosely get along, and I enjoy that sort of stuff. I will note, however, didn't specify Magic content producers. So anyone else you want to give a shout out to in terms of content on the web you consume?
I don't watch other games.
Well, I'm going to take a moment to say that both me and my wife really enjoy the assorted podcasts of the McElroy brothers. And you should go.
Bam.
Yeah, I enjoy Mabim Bam. I enjoy their stuff they do for Polygon. You should check out My Brother, and Me. It's really funny, and it's pretty much the sense of humor that I strive to have. So imagine 3 better versions of Mike yelling about stuff. It's ostensibly an advice show, but not really. Next up from unique username, what platform do you recommend for listening to podcasts? Whichever one works.
Yeah, I generally listen. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. I use iTunes because I have an iPhone, and it works very well for me.
Let me actually open my phone here so I can tell you. I use Podcast Addict because that is one that had good reviews in the Google App Store and works. In reality, watching podcasts or listening to them from a lot of content creators, unless they are getting huge numbers on YouTube, most of them aren't getting paid. Just watch or listen somewhere where they can track the clicks and views. I don't know, whatever works best for you. In terms of actually listening on a computer, I rarely listen to podcasts on computers. Even at work, I'll just bring my phone with me and listen there. Last one from David.
Favorite rogue deck that isn't Pig Trinket. Why would you do that to us? How can I answer this?
Favorite rogue deck. So there's no qualifier on this. So it just has to be something that is not like a tiered deck. What do I like that isn't Pig Trinket and isn't just good? What trash do I enjoy?
I like oh man, what is it called? Well, that thought went in one ear and out the other. It wasn't the deck I mentioned earlier, though. It was another deck. Oh yeah, Thought Picker Witch. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, Thought Picker Witch is cool. I'm gonna go with Green Ramp. There is this goofy Green Ramp deck that uses like overgrown battlements, Arbor Elves, a bunch of mana enchantments, specifically Wild Growth, and what's the other one that I'm thinking of? Utopia Sprawl, so that your Arbor Elves are untapping these lands that are producing a ton of mana. You also get like Wall of Roots, so you get like a bunch of like early big blockers, and then on top of that, your top end is Aurochs Herd and Ulamog's Crusher and just spamming out 3 copies of Llanowar Sentinels. Super uninteractive. Just kind of does its thing. But when it works, it's just hilarious to me. Good ramp decks are fun.
Right.
I also
Awesome.
I also like paying attention to what's going on with Freed from the Real, because it's one of those decks where I'm like, this is so close constantly. Someone is eventually gonna figure it out. So
Yeah, and I like the Thought Picker control deck where you use Thought Picker and then the recursive mirror to like exile your opponent's cards. It's very slow, but it's fun.
very
The Pig Shrink is the best.
yeah, that is the one that I've gotten the most consistent joy out of, and I kind of want to rework because we've gotten a lot of new things that I think could potentially make the deck better, but that is a conversation for a more serious episode of this show. From at @the_jabbering, do you enjoy other games such as board games?
Yeah, I play a significant amount of board games. I have Catan, I have Master. I haven't played that in a while though. One of the first times I hung out with Mike, we played Pandemic. I do enjoy board games, and I play a lot of video games.
I do not play a lot of video games. I do enjoy board games and card games. My wife and I are huge fans of Pandemic. I've been meaning to pick up one of the Legacy Pandemic sets that's got like the stickers and the game changes.
Yeah, the persistent.
My wife and I actually play a decent amount of chess together. It's
I actually really don't like chess.
The thing I like about chess is the fact that it's a solved equation. It's just a matter of figuring out where the solution lies. That and I don't know. It's something I can do with my wife while we're not like super engaged with it and just have something on in the background. I'm trying to think of other games. I really like deck builders. Actually, the closest I get to a computer game is there is a pretty 100% accurate, I think, and just slightly behind on release schedule version of the Ascension deck building game, which can either be played online or played against computer opponents. And Ascension is a really cool deck builder. It's kind of like drafting and playing a game at the same time.
That Ascension's pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't think it's the best. I also have a copy of Star Realms sitting around that I think is okay.
Star Realms is, yeah, I agree. It's just kind of okay.
Yeah. Apart from that, though, I don't really play that many video games. I got super into Smash Brothers when I was in college, and that's about it. I don't know. Not really my cup of tea. I think the next one's you. Is it? Maybe?
Yeah. What other games, hobbies do you enjoy when not playing Magic? I watch a lot of TV and I play a lot of video games. I'm actually not that exciting, but I also have a skee ball league I'm a part of. So I do that. I've practiced twice a week. I've practiced once a week and then my games once a week. So I guess that qualifies.
What's the name of your skee ball team again?
Ball and Hole Enthusiasts.
Oh, well, that one technically is going to get past our requirements for not getting censored.
Yeah. I like anime a lot. I think we both like that a lot. We're both really into it.
You always do this to me. You always try and sell me as someone who's super into anime stuff.
I like that you pretend that you're not.
So here's the thing. I don't have anything against it. I just don't watch a lot of anime.
It's just not true, Mike. You know way too much about JoJo to only be a casual anime person.
But it's only that one. I've seen the animes I have seen to completion, like series, are JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like all the middling, pretentious, but easy to get into anime series.
No, you're otakus just like the rest of us.
Moving on, though, hobbies outside of Magic and gaming. I cook a lot. I really enjoy food. Anyone who's seen me in person, it's very clear from my physique that I'm a big boy who enjoys his food. But apart from that, like I go to work, I come home, I watch a good amount of TV with my wife, and I wind up cooking dinner a lot. I do also enjoy, just being an adult. I don't know. I'm realizing as I speak it's actually pretty boring. I like cooking. I make good food. If you ever, I don't know, if you're ever in my home, I will feed you. Please don't find out where I live. Please. Next up, what movie genres do you like?
Horror, basically, exclusively. That's all I really watch. I'm not watching anime horror movies.
So you're gonna watch the Japanese seizure cartoons and horror movies.
Yeah, dude. I have extreme tastes. My favorite band is Guar. I don't know what you want me to say.
Extreme tastes. We've definitely talked about this off the show before, but I know for a fact that you're the one who watches all of those horror films you've never heard of before on Netflix. So
yeah,
I salute you for your dedication to a genre. I've talked about it. Where did I talk about it? I've definitely talked about the fact that I watch a lot of movies. And took a bunch of film theory courses.
Yeah, you bring it up constantly.
Yeah.
Heyo.
I've been lightly dunked upon on my own podcast. But no, in terms of genres, I don't know. Dude, if a movie looks good, I'll watch it. Like my top movies are wildly all over the place, but I do enjoy a good horror flick every now and then. We've not had a good run as of late. I've been meaning to check out God, what is it called?
Get Out.
I did not see Get Out in theaters because I was just ramping up on a new job, but no, it's It Comes at Night. That's the one.
Oh yeah, that movie. I haven't seen that one yet, but it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really solid. But yeah, I huge movie fan, so I go to the theater as much as I can, not as much anymore because I don't have an Alamo Drafthouse near me, and I miss the comfort of plushy seats and dinner brought to my seat. So RIP my movie going experiences.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I watch a lot of movies in theaters too, which is more all over the place because then I go with groups, and Liz isn't as into horror movies as I am.
Yeah. If you are in Austin, please go check out the Draft House, the Purple Crown, and what's the one that you like that's a little north of the city?
Flicks.
There we go. All solid picks. If you're in Boston, on the other hand, the Regal near Fenway does screenings of old cool movies, and the Coolidge Corner Theater does a series called After Midnight, where if you're in the area and are willing to stay after midnight, they screen rare prints of old films, ranging from I saw Dario Argento's like first film that he ever made, and I also watched. They usually do a bunch of schlocky horror movies. They also do like a yearly horror marathon where they play. You pay like $40 and they let you watch 12 hours of horror films. So that's pretty neat. You want to take this next one?
Sure. This is from Taylor via email. How do you guys approach telling folks of your hobby/work regarding MTG to those who don't know you guys play? Do they understand? Do you feel there's still a stigma about the game? This seems to be a topic going around the internet since Cassius March, the Seattle Seahawks defensive end, was in a featured match at GP Vegas. Most people I talk to are either what's Magic, or they're, oh my God, I played that, X amount of years ago, and they start trying to talk to me about it. So I really don't encounter a lot of like negative stigma associated with the game. My family all knows what I do and they're really supportive. So I really don't have that problem. And also, like, we as a society have moved to this, social collective, I guess you can call it, where being a nerd is cool now. Like, there's been a huge mainstreaming of nerd culture lately, and over the past like 10, 15 years. And so I really don't think it's a stigma anymore to be a nerd.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't generally talk about it, but that's mostly because I'm a pretty private person. I work in a small office. Everyone there knows one another. I only really brought it up to one of my coworkers who I occasionally play with. because I caught him on his lunch break at his desk looking at I think it was the Warhammer 40K subreddit, but outside of that, like, I don't know, like, there's totally way dorkier things that I do with my life, like watch an absurd ton of movies, and you know, the fact that most nights I just stay home and, you know, hang out with my dog and my wife. Like, I don't know, I'm not cool, but I'm also not really trying to be. The Cassius March thing, I know, kind of popped off when Kotaku wrote that kind of garbage article.
Yeah, I like Kotaku, but that piece was really uncalled for, and I really don't like when they write Magic pieces because it feels like none of the staff actually know how the game works.
Well, that was kind of the worst part, is the guy who wrote that article plays and then later said it was supposed to be like satirical, but the catch is that if no one catches the satire, it's not funny.
Look, I am a very well-enfranchised Magic player, and I did not pick up that was satire. I'm pretty sure that's something you say after people call you out when you're trying to be like, oh, no, it was all just a joke. You know, I don't think that article was kind of mean-spirited if it was a joke.
That said, I do not approve of the fact that people literally bullied this journalist off Twitter. Like, that's
I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
Like the same.
I'm not keeping up with this. I just know that it happened.
I think it was a slow day at work when this happened, so I saw a lot of it on Twitter. Like the same journalist wrote a piece about Jerry Thompson selling off all his stuff from Pro Tour Amonkhet and donating the proceeds to Planned Parenthood.
That's good.
And that piece was totally fine. Like, again, people, it's the internet. Calm down when it doesn't really matter that much. Like, I'm right there with you. The article was not flattering, and everything I've seen about Cassius Marsh makes him seem like a pretty cool dude. But, you know, I definitely don't feel like there's that much stigma about it anymore. Like, I don't know. I play a card game. Like, is that any nerdier than the fact that, like, almost everyone I know owns a gaming console? Not really.
Right. I also own a gaming console.
Exactly. Like, people just, this stuff is mainstream culture now, and while Magic might not be, it is still the most widely played card game in paper. I don't want to make a claim to whether or not there are more Magic players in paper versus Hearthstone's digital stuff, but I don't know. It's not a big deal anymore, and I feel like a lot of the people who act like there is some sort of social stigma about it are kind of looking for it. Like, I don't know, don't bring up Magic at places where it's not appropriate to. Just, like, if someone asks you what are your hobbies, you can tell them that you like Magic, and, you know, if they're like, oh, haha, what a loser, like, unless this person is someone you need in your life, like, why does that matter? I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole, like,
like, I got my job because of people I knew who play Magic. You know, like, Magic is a very important part of my life, and it's a reason I'm doing successfully in my personal life as well. So,
yeah,
you know, Magic has done a lot. Playing the game has done a lot for me, way more than people, you know, thinking I'm not cool for playing it. You know,
exactly. Like, you know, like, it's, for example, like, it's not something that my wife doesn't play Magic, but, like, I'll also see people who are like, want to get my girlfriend or wife into Magic, but she doesn't seem to enjoy it. And it's like, then just stop trying, dude. Like, don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I think a big issue is, like, the perceived difference between, like, someone who is obsessive about something and lets it consume them in a negative way. Like, we obviously care a lot about Magic. We sit here every week and make a podcast about it and spend a non-negligible amount of time doing so. But, like, I don't know, I can have a regular conversation with a human being about stuff. And I think that's where the social stigma actually kicks in, is when people, you know, let this hobby consume them. It's certainly something that I've seen articles written about, and also cannot fathom how you get to that point with a hobby. So,
yeah,
I don't know. We definitely have rambled about this for a while, but, like, I don't think Magic, like, people knowing about me playing Magic, I definitely, like, don't talk about the podcast because people get weird about podcasts way more than magic, honestly. Also, I find it funny that this person refers to it as work. I don't know.
What? I mean, it is work, dude. It is work.
I mean, it's work, but I don't know. This never feels like work to me. There's been a couple weeks where like stuff's been topsy turvy, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely talk less about the podcast thing just because people get weird about podcasts in my experience. I don't know. Moving on. Fizzled via email asks, what are your preferred beverages of choice, adult or otherwise?
Diet Coke and Diet Coke with rum.
Oh, God. Well, fun fact about Mike. Mike doesn't drink. I'm a good old 12-stepper, and I recently gave up drinking soda as well. So I literally have like a bottle of seltzer water right next to me. So I drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of seltzer water, and occasionally I will have milk when I have some sort of baked good dessert. But that's about all the liquids that go into my body. What's the best advice you were given and didn't take?
Oh, jeez.
This is like a very serious question. I think it's just in life. Like, there's no context for this.
Don't get a theater degree.
You know, I only laugh at this not because you got a theater degree, but because I was going to joke, don't get an art degree. So
yeah. I mean, it's probably I don't know. I'd be making a lot more money. I like my degree. I like what I did for 4 years, but I don't know if liking what you do is enough now that I'm an adult, you know? Sad, but true.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I hung out with a friend from college the other week, and, like, he's working as a bike machinist. Like, he is super happy with what he does, but hasn't done anything with his degree. And he was like, you know, I don't fully regret it, but, like, I probably just could have had 4 more years worth of experience building bikes. I don't know. Yeah, I best advice I was given but didn't take. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I joke about the college thing, but I don't know. There were definitely people who had urged me not to move to Austin, and I don't think I regret that. But in the end, I did wind up moving back.
We wouldn't have met, though.
We wouldn't have met. Like, there were a lot of upsides to Austin. I left for, you know, equally good reasons, but I don't know. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the gag answer of getting the degrees we got.
That's not super gag answer for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only reason I have a job is because I learned how to program stuff for websites. Like, if I did not have that, I don't know what I would be doing with my life.
Yeah.
You know what? What's the one piece of advice you would give someone considering a theater degree?
I don't know, man. Enjoy it.
Because I'm going to tell people, if you're getting a degree in graphic design, learn how to program a website. Trust me, people will hire you so much quicker. It's not even funny.
I guess mine would be network.
Yeah, network. That is a good piece of advice. One I'm terrible at. Or more accurately, I'm terrible at talking to people after I meet them. But you want to take this last question here from Fizzled?
What is your favorite novel? I don't know if I could narrow it down to a novel. Stephen King's my favorite author. It was my first Stephen King novel. So whenever I think of like a really definitive book in my life, it's it.
Okay, that's fair. Do you have any other suggestions for Stephen King? Because I've watched a lot of his movies. I'm not a big reader, so I'm curious which one of his books are good, so I can compare them to the films if I've seen them.
One of my other favorite ones is called Desperation. That one's really good. I mean, that's like he has so many like big name books. You know, The Shining is obviously really, really good.
I've heard that one's
better than the movie, in my opinion.
I was going to say, I've heard that's drastically different than the movie.
Kubrick took a lot of liberties with the book, and Stephen King was actually not very happy about it. I liked Tommyknockers a decent amount.
The movie for that one is pretty bad.
I liked the book, but yeah, Desperation and its companion novel, The Regulators, are both really good.
I don't think I know those ones. Yeah, because he's got a lot of movies at this point. Like he's got, what is it, Dark Tower coming out in like a month.
Yeah, finally.
Which apparently, I don't know if you're a big fan of that series. Apparently, some fans are upset by that because it doesn't follow the plot of the first book or something.
But
it's like a
they're upset that Idris Elba is the gunslinger.
Oh yeah,
really
no. There's a bunch of people who are being racist about this, but I also saw someone like write an article about how it doesn't look like it's following the plot of any of the books, and it looks
it actually does. And I saw the trailer for it. It does not look like it follows the plot of the gunslinger.
Yeah, which again, you can have your opinions on stuff, but like it's not always going to line up with what's happening.
Right. I hope it's good because I like Matthew McConaughey and I like that book a lot. So
the trailer certainly looks stylish. I don't really know the book at all or the series because it's like 8 books or something.
Yeah, it's his magnum opus. It's like his life's work, the Dark Tower series.
Kind of odd that they didn't go for that as a TV series. I'm now realizing, like, if you're 8 books deep, I feel like, you go the Game of Thrones route and get one of the paid cable channels to produce some absolutely epic and reaching production, but who knows? For me, probably my favorite novel that I've read it's got to be something by Philip K. Dick, and I am going to go with Flow My Tears, the Policeman Said. I think that's a really solid one. I really like Philip K. Dick's work. I like a lot of the themes that he discusses about humanity, and that's all super cool. I am going to say that while I like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, I do not care for Blade Runner.
That movie is very slow.
It's very slow. I feel like it misses some of the core themes, and I feel like we have yet to get a really solid Philip K. Dick novel adapted into a film. I will say Blade Runner with the sound off and just the soundtrack playing is super awesome to just have like playing in the background. Like it's super stylish. The plot, the set dressing is wonderful. The soundtrack by Vangelis is amazing, but it does miss some several key points. Like Minority Report misses the whole entire point of the film, of the novel. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's had not a great track record of people adapting his works into. He's not like in like the same realm as like Alan Moore, where he had to live to see the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie, but not miles better. I guess Watchmen is doable. I'm okay with Watchmen.
Watchmen's good. Watchmen's not as good as the book, though.
Not as good as the book. I feel like I understand why they made the changes they did to the third act reveal, because for those who haven't seen it, there is a big event at the end and they changed some details about it. But I feel like the changes made were more related to it being a product of its times. I will say every time I've seen that movie, I have cackled so hard at the scene in Vietnam where Dr. Manhattan just comes over the horizon. There's just that big blue wiener.
Big blue wiener. Yeah, that movie's real goofy. You're right.
It has goofy moments to it. I've also never seen the like super extended cut, the one that has like the animatic sequence for one of the characters who they cut out. And it's like 3.5 hours long and completely unnecessary. But all right, I think that brings us to the end of the questions. Where are we in terms of time? We're about 40 minutes. So I think this is going to probably be a short episode. Do you want to do the card guessing game?
Let's queue up some cards.
Oh boy. What do you got for
Converted
me today?
mana cost. 4, 3 and a black. Creature. Werewolf. B. If blank's powers 1 or more, it gets -1, -0 until end of turn, and put a -0/-1 counter on target creature blocking or blocked by blank. Activate this ability only during the declare blockers step. It's a 2/4. It's an uncommon in Legends and a common in Masters Edition.
Is this Greater Werewolf?
The opposite of that one.
Lesser werewolf? I didn't know there was a lesser werewolf.
Yes, it is lesser werewolf.
This is back when they just decided, we've got vampires in here. We might as well get the rest of the Universal Monster movie franchise in here.
Yeah. I think there even is a Frankenstein, is there not?
There is a Frankenstein, and it's actually a really great example of a top-down design that is horrible in-game, but amazing from like a dedication. It's like, let me actually pull it up because it's one of my favorite examples for like when people are talking about like, wouldn't this card be cool to bring up? Because it's full of like all sorts of design pitfalls. So Frankenstein's monster is X black for an 0/1. As it enters the battlefield, exile X creature cards from your graveyard. If you can't, put Frankenstein's monster into its owner's graveyard instead of onto the battlefield. For each creature card exiled this way, Frankenstein's monster enters the battlefield with a +2/+0, +1/+1, or +0/+2 counter on it. So it has this flavor of gathering up all the body parts and putting them together into a monster. It also uses 3 different types of counters on it and is a terrible design.
Yeah.
What's the other one? There's Sutured Ghoul originally from Onslaught or from Judgment is a much better example of how you can design this card, where it kind of looks like a Frankenstein monster. It's 4 black for a star trample. As it enters the battlefield, exile any number of creature cards from your graveyard. Its power is equal to the total power, and toughness is equal to the total toughness. So
yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it makes much more sense that way.
All right.
Next card.
It's gonna be easy. 3 blue Phyrexian mana, so 4 total.
Is
you
this
may have
Tezzere's
blank
Ambition? Oh wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, artifact creature shapeshifter. Mike, come on.
It's
you may have
Phyrexian
blank.
Metamorph.
Yes.
It's the other 3 and a blue Phyrexian mana card.
Here's another one. 3 black sorcery. Blank deals 3 damage to each creature and each player. Originally an uncommon in P3K. Was reprinted in Masters Edition 3.
Okay, so I have an issue here because this card has been reprinted several times under different names. Like there's a bunch of functional reprints, and I want to say that
Black 3.
Yes, this was a one that they kept bringing back for the Portal sets. I want to say that this is Plague or something like that. Like
it's close. It's
not Pox. What is it? What is this one?
It's Famine.
Because so the one in Portal 2 Electric Boogaloo is Dakmor Plague.
I'm looking it up. Mike is right. This is unfair.
There are a couple of reprints of that effect, and it's a weird, like, they're always sorcery speed, they're always 5 mana, and they always like dome everything for 3. But all right, what's next?
Next we have a lot of black cards. 2 black for a creature zombie. Card text Death Touch. Whenever blank deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card, and you create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token.
What set is this from?
Originally from M14 and was reprinted in Commander 2014. It's the rare.
I have no idea what this card is. I don't think I've ever seen it in my life, but does it have the word Spectre in its name?
No, it's Liliana's Reaver.
Oh, is this the one with the really goofy art that looks like a metal album?
It's got a fat guy on it. So maybe?
No, okay, it's a different one. It's from... Okay, I have seen this card. No, there's one that's like Liliana's something. Crap. Let me just... Liliana... I can't type. Yeah, I still can't type. I'm trying to figure out what this card is because I literally saw this on a promote. Is it? Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. There's some zombie card that I recently saw on like a band on like a poster for a concert here, and I was like, that's magic art. All right, do you want to give me one more?
Cool. Yep, we got 4 red and a green, so 6 total. Creature, giant warrior. When blank enters the battlefield, it fights target creature an opponent controls at random, and is an uncommon from Dragon's Mage.
Oh man, I
hit you with some trash today.
Yeah, this is a card that I'm aware of, and God. Does it have the word sky in its name?
It's Scab Clan.
It's like Scab Clan Giant or something.
Yeah, it is Scab Clan Giant.
All right, there we go. We got there with much prodding and basically giving the answer away. But yeah, man, after the last time we recorded, I went like 6 for 6 or something stupid, and now I'm getting hit with the trash, as you said so eloquently put it.
It is the trash. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You want to take us out of the show?
Sure. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. This podcast is brought to you by the support of our patrons. Consider supporting us if you like the show. Check below this video or the description of this podcast for details on where to find us. We'd like to remind you, if you're listening to this on a platform with reviews, they're always appreciated because they boost our visibility. If you've got a deck list or idea for a topic, feel free to contact us either via our website or by emailing us directly at colorcommentary@gmail.com. Special thanks to Pat's Games Nell. Till next week, this is Adrian and Mike, and we are signing off for Color Commentary.